Brendan Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to completely ignore the previous speaker because that's what it deserves. But I did want to pick up on the comments of the member responsible for this bill, Tauhanari, and just acknowledge this, that in response to a comment from one of my colleagues that he was the worst union delegate secretary ever in the history of the country, his response was to stand up and say, oh no, that's not true, there was Fintan Patrick Walsh. That was the comparison he made for himself. That's what he told us. So we have the Black Prince, who I will acknowledge was worse than Tauhanari as a union delegate secretary, but he was the Black Prince who worked with the employers against the interests of workers in issues like the 1951 waterfront lockout. So to make that comparison rather underscores the comments made by my colleagues. Mr. Hanari also referred to bullying tactics. But he didn't talk almost at all about this bill, which I think rather underscores the futility of it. We've had people who have been union representatives who've overseen ballot after ballot, and they say to the House, and this is a practice, and I as a past union member can confirm, ballots are almost always held in secret. What this bill does, and I contrast it with the previous bill, where the government wasn't prepared to allow compulsion in respect of student union membership, but suddenly in the following bill wants to say that it must be compulsory in respect of union ballots. And what a contradiction in terms of that is. Here's the contrast there. Mr. Hanari also made an extraordinary comment around that many members of the National Caucus have been union delegates. Now, I found that an extraordinary comment, and I'd like to see any opposite members stand up and confirm his comments. And I wondered if he's referring to people like David Carter, who perhaps represents the union of multiple farm owners, or maybe Wayne Mapp, who must represent the North Shore Workers' Union. Or maybe we could have been referring to Morris Williamson, a well-known union delegate, as a representative for the Pakuranga Geeks and Related Trades Union. That would be a union which I'm sure would never want to see a compulsory ballot, because they'd want to do it on their iPads. They wouldn't want to go into a ballot and have it compulsory. The Pakuranga Geeks and Related Trades Union would want to have their votes taken by iPad, and that is rather different than walking into a trades hall or a conference centre to make your vote. I wonder if Tony Ryle, coming back to the title of the bill, of course, which relates to the Employment Relations Secret Ballot for Strikes Amendment Bill. Thank you for my colleague Moana Maki for reminding me we are debating the title of this particular bill. And following on from that, and of course this bill is around trying to enforce what is already the practice. What is already the practice in union ballots today, and that is to have a secret ballot. But it is a situation where it is not one size fits all, and the point has been made in respect of where we have a shareholders' decision in respect of locking out workers. Should they be given the same requirement? If we're going to have equity across this issue, then surely this bill should extend to relating to where shareholders in a company which has made a decision to lock out workers who've decided to take a strike because of the ballot that they've taken, almost certainly in secret, then they should be compelled under the same legislation that Tauhanari has brought into the House. I just find it absolutely extraordinary that we have this member's bill. It's clear that there's been an instruction to the National Party caucus, find a private member's bill. It doesn't matter if it's of no consequence at all. We had the military manoeuvres bill. We've got this bill. These are an indication that the National Party caucus has been told, get your private member's bill up, and I will take the word of colleagues who've been in the union movement, like Darian Fenton, like Lynn Pillay, like Carol Beaumont, that the practice is there, but there has to be the choice of workers to make their decisions in respect of these, and we can see the potential for this bill to be used as a weapon against workers, not as a tool to protect their rights in the workplace, and that would be very much in line with the anti-worker sentiment of this government.
I'm going to give the call to Sandra Gowdy, but before I do so, I'm on my feet. Thank you. The Chair would be desirous if we could have some debate on the title, which is actually what this debate is. And I just caution the House that we actually should be debating the title, and I'd prefer that's what we can do, then we can make some progress. Sandra Gowdy.
Mr Chair, I move that the question be now put.
I am sorely tempted, but Darian Fenton assured me by sign language she was going to speak on the